All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about something fascinating: how to become an alchemist. No, not with metal, but with failure. We're going to explore this wild idea of how to take something that feels like a total dead end and turn it into, well, pure, valuable progress.
So let's start with this number, 2,000. I want you to just think about that for a second. Imagine that's how many times you tried something and failed. We're talking 2,000 consecutive attempts that just did not work. Can you feel the frustration, the sheer crushing weight of that number?
It really makes you wonder, right? What do you do when it feels like every single path you take just leads to a wall? You know that feeling. When every ounce of effort just fizzles out into a dead end, it's that feeling of total exhaustion, of being completely hopelessly stuck.
And that feeling? That's what brings us to a pretty famous laboratory, over a century ago. We are, of course, talking about Thomas Edison and his relentless, almost kind of maddening search for one single, crucial component. He needed a working filament for the incandescent light bulb.
So he and his team, they threw everything they had at this problem. They tested 2,000, yep, there's that number again, 2,000 different materials for that filament. And the result, after all that work? Nothing. Not a single one worked properly. I mean, can you believe it? 2,000 experiments and absolutely zero usable results.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. It's what happened next, in the aftermath. Because inside that very same lab, looking at the exact same pile of results, you had two people who saw two completely different realities.
First, you've got Edison's assistant. And you can just imagine how he felt, right? Totally exhausted. He looks at all these piles of tested materials and just says, "All our work is in vain. We have learned nothing." You can just feel that dejection, that sense that all of that time was just completely wasted.
But then came Edison's reply, and it was a total, complete reframe of the situation. He said, and you can just imagine the confidence, "Oh, we have come a long way and we have learned a lot." Wait, what? Same situation, same lab, but a profoundly different conclusion. So how is that possible?
This just illustrates the two mindsets perfectly, doesn't it? The assistant's view, his focus was on the failure. The outcome, wasted time. The conclusion, a dead end. But Edison's view was the complete opposite. His focus was on the learning. His outcome was gained knowledge, and his conclusion, progress made.
This really highlights a powerful pivot in thinking. See, Edison understood a core principle that his assistant totally missed. Failure, when you look at it through the right lens, is just data.
So let's give this a name. Let's call it the alchemy of failure. What is it? Well, it's the process of treating all those failed attempts not as dead ends, but as valuable data that actually guides you toward a solution. It's the art of taking something that looks worthless, a failure, and magically transforming it into valuable information.
And this gets right to the heart of what Edison really meant. From his perspective, he didn't fail 2,000 times, not even close. What he did was successfully discover 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Each one of those failures just eliminated another possibility, which actually moved him one step closer to the answer.
So, that's a great story, but what does it mean for us? Right here, right now. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a super practical tool. So let's talk about how you, yes you, can become an alchemist in your own life.
It's actually a pretty simple four-step process. First, frame your goal. Be really clear on what you're trying to achieve. Second, embrace the attempt. Just try the thing. Test the idea without being so afraid that it might not work. Third, and this is the key part, analyze the failure. Don't just get frustrated. Ask, what did this attempt teach me? And finally, fourth step, iterate and repeat. You take that new data, that new information, and you use it to inform your very next attempt.
And you can be an alchemist pretty much anywhere, right? At your job, when a project goes sideways, when you're learning a new skill, like an instrument or a language, even in your creative hobbies, or just in your own personal growth. Every single time something doesn't go to plan, that's your chance. That's your raw material. So as we wrap this up, here's a final thought on moving forward. It's really all about changing the rules of the game. It's not about trying to avoid mistakes. It's about what you do with them.
The goal here isn't to avoid failure. I mean, that's impossible anyway. The real goal is to learn faster than anyone else And the fastest way to learn is to treat every attempt, successful or not, as a piece of incredibly valuable data.
So I'll leave you with this final question. I want you to really think about it. What failure will you learn from next? What challenge in your life right now is just waiting for you to become an alchemist and turn it into progress?